I don't care. You're lame. And them is lame too.
Cardi B just went scorched earth on Offset after he had the audacity to mock her on the Joe Budden podcast, claiming none of his exes went up. But what triggered this meltdown goes deeper than shade. It involves the Super Bowl, Stefon Diggs, and Offset's own side chick. The mockery that started a war. Yo, sit down for this one because what we're about to unpack isn't just celebrity drama. It's a full-blown cultural earthquake that shook the internet from the Super Bowl stage all the way down to the comment sections of every gossip blog in America. We're talking about the moment Offset Kiari Kendra Cephas himself decided to open his mouth on the Joe Budden podcast and throw the most disrespectful shade at every woman he's ever been with, and more specifically at the one woman who held him down through years of embarrassment, public humiliation, and scandal after scandal after scandal. Belcalis Marlinus Almancer Cephas, Cardi B. And what did Cardi do when she heard those words? She didn't just respond. She didn't just clap back. She detonated like a bomb that had been ticking for 9 straight years. Let's set the stage properly so you understand the magnitude of what happened. January 2026. Offset slides onto the Joe Budden podcast. Looking comfortable, looking confident, looking like a man who has completely and conveniently erased his own history from his memory. And with the kind of audacity only a man who forgot every single scandal attached to his name could muster, he delivers a line that would echo across every timeline on X, every Reddit thread, every barbershop debate, and every group chat in America for weeks. Roll the clip.
I ain't never met none that I left went up, so I don't know how to experience.
None that I left went up. Let that simmer for a second. Let that marinate in the absolute absurdity of who is saying it. This is a man whose serial infidelity was documented from the very first year of his marriage. Cheating videos surfaced in December 2017, barely 3 months after their secret September wedding. 3 months. The ink on the marriage certificate wasn't even dry. And this man was already out here getting caught on camera with other women. This is a man whose name became synonymous with groupie love, who admitted infidelity in interviews, and had the nerve to blame it on the lifestyle. Like the lifestyle forced him to betray the woman carrying his child. This is the same man who crashed Cardi's Rolling Loud set in 2018 with a Take Me Back sign made of roses, begging for forgiveness on a public stage while the entire world watched and half the internet cringed. And now the same man sits in a podcast chair telling the world that nobody he left went up. The audacity wasn't just disrespectful. It was historically provably embarrassingly delusional, because the woman he's implying didn't go up is a multi-platinum Grammy-winning artist who literally just performed at the Super Bowl. But we'll get to that part. The moment that clip hit the internet, Cardi went absolutely nuclear. She took to Instagram Live, her battlefield of choice, the platform where she's made careers and ended them. And she did not hold a single thing back. The raw emotion, the fury, and the pain that had been compounding for nearly a decade of betrayal and broken promises came pouring out of her like volcanic lava, hot and unstoppable. And here's the thing about Cardi B that you need to understand. When she's hurt, she doesn't whisper. She doesn't send a subliminal. She screams her truth to every single person willing to listen.
I blocked you, even though I know you was gonna go to Atlanta, and I was like, I didn't want to know what you was doing out there. I told you I blocked.
That clip right there tells you everything you need to know about the entire dynamic of this relationship from start to finish. Cardi knew. She always knew that every single time Offset touched down in Atlanta, there were women waiting for him. She blocked him not because she didn't care, but precisely because she cared too much, and the knowing was destroying her from the inside out. She didn't want the confirmation. She didn't want to see the receipts. She didn't want her phone blowing up with screenshots. She just wanted to survive the marriage without losing her mind. And for years, through pregnancy, through postpartum, through public scandal after public scandal, that's exactly what she tried to do. She swallowed the humiliation. She took him back after filing for divorce in 2020, then took him back again after the 2023 accusations, where Offset himself went on Instagram story, accusing Cardi of being unfaithful, a post he deleted almost immediately, only for Cardi to clap back, calling him country and fans to lie. ups with over 10K likes on posts, calling it karma for both. But the blocking, the silence, and the self-preservation tactics she deployed to protect her own sanity, none of it stopped the disrespect from coming. And when Offset hit that Joe Budden podcast and sat there acting like he was the prize that women should be grateful to have had, Cardi snapped. She went right back on that Instagram live and delivered the line that had the entire internet on the floor.
I don't care, you're lame. And them is lame too.
Lame. That's the word she chose. Not toxic, not narcissistic, not any of the clinical therapy speak vocabulary the internet loves to throw around. Lame. Because in Card's world, in the Bronx, in the streets, and in the culture, calling a man lame is the ultimate dismissal. It strips away every piece of bravado, every chain, every Instagram flex, and every podcast tough guy moment. It says, you are not significant enough to hurt me anymore. You and every single woman you've ever entertained while you were supposed to be my husband are beneath me. And she meant every syllable of that with her entire chest. But Cardi wasn't done. Not by a long shot. Because what Offset clearly didn't realize, or maybe what he absolutely did realize, and that's exactly why he was acting out on a national podcast, is that Cardi had been sitting on a volcano of regret and resentment that went back to the very foundation of their relationship. Back to 2017, back to Selena Powell's claims of affairs with Offset during that first year. Back to the pregnancy with Culture, when, according to leaked allegations that resurfaced in 2026, Offset allegedly abandoned Cardi during the birth of their firstborn daughter. And so, when the dam finally broke after that podcast, Shade, what came out wasn't just anger, it was grief. Pure, unfiltered grief, years in the making.
None of them. But f*** you. I regret you. I'm too good for you. I've always been too good for you.
She left Offset behind, and she did not look back. She started a whole new chapter of her life with NFL wide receiver Stefon Diggs, confirmed their relationship publicly at a Knicks game in mid-2025, announced her pregnancy with him by September, and welcomed a baby boy in November, whose name is still undisclosed to this day. The narrative around Cardi B had completely and fundamentally shifted. The blogs were calling it an upgrade. X was buzzing with takes like, Cardi upgraded from rapper drama to NFL money. That's a power move. She was glowing in every paparazzi shot. She was radiating peace in every interview. She was about to perform at the Super Bowl alongside Bad Bunny. Life, for all appearances, had finally turned a corner towards something resembling happiness and stability. But here's where the universe or karma or fate or whatever higher power you believe writes the script of celebrity relationships decided to author the cruelest, most poetic, most devastatingly ironic plot twist that anyone in the history of modern celebrity drama has ever witnessed. Super Bowl 60. February 8th and 9th, 2026. The New England Patriots lose 29-13. Diggs' team gets absolutely blown out on the biggest stage in all of professional sports. Cardi performs at halftime but leaves the venue early, which immediately sets off alarm bells across every gossip blog and fan forum on the internet. And then the digital world doesn't just buzz, it detonates. Because sitting in the friends and family section of that stadium, wearing a Wags jacket, standing on the secure field, and holding credentials and access that only come from being personally and deliberately invited by one of the players, was a woman named Pri. And Pri wasn't just any woman off the street. Pri was Offset's alleged former mistress. Read that again and let it truly sink in. The man Cardi left because he would not stop entertaining other women behind her back. One of those very women, one of the women who played a role in the destruction of Card's marriage, was now in the building at the Super Bowl wearing a Wags jacket, invited by Card's brand new man. You cannot write this. Hollywood would reject this screenplay for being too unrealistic. Pri posted I love you to Diggs on social media while Cardi was literally on that stage performing for over 100 million viewers around the world. The level of disrespect was so surgical, so precise, so seemingly calculated that fans immediately started asking the questions that needed to be asked. Did Diggs know about the Offset connection? Did he know exactly who this woman was and what she represented in the context of Card's trauma? Did he invite her knowing the full history, knowing the pain it would cause, and knowing that this woman's presence in his family section would be the ultimate slap in the face? Because if the answer to any of those questions is yes, then what happened at that Super Bowl wasn't just being unfaithful. It was psychological warfare executed on a national stage. Within hours of the final whistle, Tasha K leaked alleged receipts connecting Diggs and PRI. And the timing made the whole thing exponentially more devastating because rumors had been circulating for weeks that Diggs was planning to propose to Cardi. A proposal, she was supposed to get a ring, and instead she got the worst night of her year. On top of the pre-revelation, Diggs was also accused of involvement with his ex-girlfriend Sky Marlene, compounding the betrayal into something that felt almost cartoonishly cruel in its layers.